Hello viewers. This is Gopal, and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. And today in our show, we have one of the finest mathematician of our country. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce you all to Professor Rahul Kumar Singh. And viewers, I would like you all to know more about Professor Rahul, as he earned his PhD from HRI, Harishchandra Research Institute, in differential geometry, and then he was a postdoctoral fellow at National Institute of Science, Education and Research, Bhubaneswar, from the year 2017 to 2019. He was also a postdoctoral fellow at one of the prestigious institute of our country, TRIIFR, Mumbai. Currently, he is an assistant professor in Department of Mathematics, IIT Patna. And so today, it's a great opportunity for all of us to know more about Professor Rahul and his journey towards mathematics. So welcome you, sir. It's a great pleasure for me that you are here. I'm blessed to have you in my channel. So thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gopal, for such a nice introduction. And I am also I feel fortunate that I have this, you have given me the platform to share my experience and the journey so far.
I'm sure that students will learn a lot from your journey, because I feel like these days the students are afraid of maths, but people like you are the main. They can admire and they can learn a lot from you. So, sir,
Yes,
so I have few questions, sir. So please, if you would like to answer those questions, it will be
yes,
a
sure.
great thing for us. Okay.
Yes, sure.
So thank you, sir. Thank you. So I would love to start this session with the very beginning, as it's about your passion for maths. Is this something that always captured your mind, or you have some moments in life when you fall in love with maths? So
So I would say, like, for instance, in school days, you can say after my class 8, I started liking maths, because before that I can just say I was just like any other student, like reading all the subjects, whichever, like little playing other things. It's a mix of thing. But if you ask me when I got really interested, in the sense, of course, we cannot appreciate the beauty of maths at that point of time during school days. We have just some set of problems in books. If you do one, if you can solve 1, 2, 3, then that's how. So I was enjoying at that time. So I will not say at that time I was thinking, okay, this is my passion. But yeah, one thing I know, that at that time physics was something which I was very fascinated. The physics, not maths, but yeah, I do like maths that time. But yeah, physics was something which I would say, very much interested at that time. During my school days, that means I'm talking about class 11 and 12. Yeah.
good to hear you. So, sir, the next question is, did you have any mentor who helped you to nurture this love or love for maths, or you did it alone?
So mentor. So when I was in my school, so I took a tuition class. There was a professor whose place I used to go, and then he taught me some maths, school maths. Then, and that's how my interest in maths. Not only maths, he also taught me physics.
Okay.
So yeah, so I can say I got this the interest in mathematics from that professor. Was
So it's like you're saying that physics and maths both are connected one for you. Like you started physics first, then it was flown towards maths. That's what you're saying.
Yes, I would say, but at that point of time, I was not aware that there's this much. Not now only I know that it's like, if you like theoretical physics, you have to understand maths also. So there is but at that time I was not very much aware. Okay, this much connection is there. But of course, I do like physics and maths as well.
Mhm.
And in particularly maths, I like doing I like this geometry part.
Yes,
So
yes, it's true that you have a good geometry, because
yeah,
I was your student that time in uh, summer camp in Kerala School of Mathematics.
yes,
I have enjoyed watching you, like what you algebraically
thank
what
you.
you have shown in geometry. It was
Yes,
completely admirable and very much interesting when you taught those things. Topology,
thank
what you have
you.
taught,
Yes,
it was great. It was great learning
yeah,
from you.
yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much. So I have few more questions, sir. So, how was your understanding with the subject when you were a young kid? And do you have any strong backgrounds, like any family members who are teachers or professors at good institutes?
So I would say understanding. If you're asking understanding, so it's like any other school student. Like I, I would not say I have the like the whole the global understanding. Like when you do something in a school, you solve a problem given an algebraic expression, you factorize it, do all those sort of things. But
Okay, okay,
I won't say I was very much appreciating what is going on at that time. The
okay.
only thing I could solve it because I know the methods, I know the tricks. That's it. That is the only thing. But yeah, about the my background. So yeah, in my like my father was in Indian Army,
Okay.
and my mother was housewife. So and all my uncle, the relatives, they were also in some related to some defense
Okay.
services. So yeah, so,
So that's where the discipline is there with
I
you. You learned
and
it from them.
also so I must tell you like due to that I was also interested in if I tell you that after like while I was doing 11th 12th I was planning to go for this there's a exam, the NDA exams
Indeed.
for
Okay.
to go into to join defense services. Of course I
Okay.
was having interest in this, but because of this background I was also thinking at
Okay.
that point of
Obviously.
time I may join those services, but
Mhm.
yeah, at that time I could not get into any of those things. Yeah.
Okay. But somehow you are doing very well this time, what you have chosen. And we
Yes,
are,
now
yes,
yeah.
yes,
No,
please.
this is now I am very happy if I'm here. So
So even learning with you, it's great chance for all of us. So we are enjoying along with you.
yeah.
Yes. So, do you felt any joy while learning maths in your school days?
Um,
Like any moment that you would like to share when you felt wow with some topic that you have learned from someone, that's either school friends or some teachers?
uh, I would not say school days, but
Okay.
I think, as I said, school days, I was just, yeah, I was doing things, I was liking it. Like if I could solve a problem, I was very much enjoying it. But I would not say some wow, but yeah, when I started appreciating, and that only came when I joined my BSc program. So
Okay.
there I met professors when they uh, told me the facts and why certain thing is true or why it is happening this way. Those were the moments I could say that were the very yeah, there were. I think there were quite few instances, but I have to recall.
Okay. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. So, okay. So, one important question that students would love to hear this. So, have you ever wrote a JEE exam for IITs, or have you ever thought of this?
Honestly, no. So
Okay.
I know many of my friends when I was in 12th, they were preparing for this G advance. But as I said, I was interested in two things. The one thing I wanted to join this defense services, and if not that, then I was very much interested in doing science. As I said, physics. So I just wanted to. So the my plan was to get admitted to some good university uh, in science if I get the some physics as my topic, and that's also I never thought of doing IITG. And also IIT for me it means like you have to do engineering, you have to read this.
Exactly.
But I was
So,
not aware in IIT people also do science.
Okay. So it's you are not enjoying that engineering one. You do not like it or what?
Yes, engineering I never thought of, but
Okay.
yeah. But if I was aware, like even after passing G Advanced, you will have opportunity to get into choose science subjects. You can do some science integrated MSc and those kind of things. But
Mhm.
yeah, so I never wrote in G exam.
So the next is uh, why do you thought of doing BSc after completing class 12? And was college maths taught enough, good enough when you were there in college?
Okay, so yes, I thought of doing BSc because, as I said, I was very much interested. I wanted to do physics, physics honors with maths. So yeah, that's the reason. Because even when I was child, that question doesn't make sense. But I was always, and in fact now also, I was always fascinated by these, like the world around. In fact, every one of us, like if you see, you look at any corner, like uh, the all, what is the, how certain thing operates. Like for example, if you see the space around us, like the space in which we live, it's a three-dimensional thing. So it's a natural. So what is the geometry? So you see, again, and to understand this, we know that if you understand physics, through physics you can uh, understand this about our world around us. So that is one reason I was thinking of doing this physics, BSc in physics.
Okay.
That's
And was the college maths taught good enough in your days where you learned
yes.
when you
So
studied?
so let me tell you, I did my BSc from MS University of Baroda. It's in the state of
Gujarat.
Gujarat.
Okay.
Baroda, MS University of Baroda, Faculty of Science, the Department of Mathematics, and the professors were very good there. So they they encouraged me, and there's one story also which I will share
Sure, sure, sure.
about, because as I told you, I wanted to do this physics honors.
Okay.
So I went there, and since I was not from the state of Gujarat, so I applied for physics honors, but they denied. That says they said that you won't get this physics honors. We will give you maths honors because a lot more seat than this.
Understood.
And then because I was also enjoying maths, so I took maths, and maths as honors subject. But there was this rule that after passing first year of your BSc, you can change it to, if you want, you can again go back to this physics. You can, if you want. So my plan was to do maths for 1 year, and then
And
I
then
can switch
shifting.
to physics. But I started doing maths. As I said, the professors were very encouraging. So I enjoyed many lectures, and that's how I also got motivated in maths also.
Okay.
So at the end of first year, then I thought of, now I will go to physics. But then I talked to my one of my professor over there who taught me some of the subject like calculus. He taught me. So I went to him, and then I asked him that this is the thing which I want to do. Like I want to go to physics. Then he asked me, why you want to go to physics? So I said I am interested in this sort of thing. So because he was, so he gave me this suggestion. See, if you want to do physics, so ultimately you also have to learn maths. So if you know maths, it's very, it will be easy to, if you want to go to physics and understand something. But so he suggested me, basically you can do maths, and if you're doing good at maths, you can also understand physics. So I then I followed his suggestion, and then I just stick to doing maths honors. So yeah, and that's how I have a degree in maths.
So fascinating. Listen this
Yes.
story.
Yeah.
So sir, in your PhD, you have done it in differential geometry. So it's quite
Yes.
similar to physics, or it's something different.
So no, actually, if so, when you say differential geometry, it's a huge area. It includes many sub areas, you can say. So when I say differential geometry, so my area is you can say it's a sub area. There's something called minimal surfaces. If you would like, I can explain to what does that mean when I say minimal surface.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I will. So this is the area of my research, which falls into the differential geometry. So yeah. So should I say something about minimal surface?
Sure,
or
sir, sure. No, sure, please.
So if I just want to explain to school students, so let me just try to explain how I can explain what these objects are. So let me start with this example. So suppose if I give you 2 points, let's say just 2 points in a plane on a sheet of paper, and if I ask you what will be the shortest path joining these 2 points on plane, so without doing any work, we can simply draw a straight line segment joining these 2 points, and that will be the shortest path. But what is the meaning of saying shortest path? We are measuring something, right? Because there are lots of possible paths, right? From joining those 2 points, there could be a circular path, semicircular path joining those 2 points, a straight path, any curved path also. But one thing we can associate to each such path is a number. That number is the length of that path joining those 2 points. And if you do the measurements for all those possible paths, then you will find that the straight segment, line segment which joins those 2 points, will have minimum length. And that's why we call this is the shortest path. And there is also name in the geometry book. If you go and see some geometry book, they call this is a geodesic. So the straight line segment is the geodesic, means the path which have the minimum length between those 2 points. So we started with those 2 points, and we are asking what is the shortest path joining these 2 points. Okay. Now, if you just go one higher dimension, so the points, if you think of point as a 0-dimensional object, so we are thinking of joining these 2 points which are 0-dimensional object. Means 0-dimensional object means the points which the object which doesn't have any dimension, like it neither has length, width, or let's say height. So points are an object like this, but there is a line, right, which is a 1-dimensional object which has only one length. So there is the minimum a path which has minimum length joining these 2 points. Now, if I change my question, let's say instead of points, now if I give you, let's say one circular ring, let's say circular ring inside a plane. You draw a circle inside a plane. Now you can imagine, if I ask you can you think of surfaces which have this circle as its boundary? Then you can immediately tell quite a few surfaces. Like for instance, one will be the disk, which is inscribed inside the circle, and another will be, you can draw upper hemisphere or lower hemisphere, which will have circle as its boundary, right? Now, so again, the question is, these surfaces, what we do, like if you're a school student, then they know we do mensuration, right? There we read how to compute area of certain surface. So for instance, given a circular ring, if I have let's say circle of radius r, and if I consider a hemisphere, then what is the area of hemisphere? That is 2 pi r square. And if I talk about what is the area of the circle inscribed inside the circle, that will be pi r square, and which is clearly less than 2 pi r square. So now, so the question is similar. So given this 1-dimensional object, which is the ring, which is a circle, which surface will have minimum area? So you can see there is one possible surface, which is disk, which is a part of plane. There is a hemisphere, and then there are other surfaces also which you can imagine, right? Fixing the boundary. The boundary will be just the ring, and this disk will be having the minimum area. So again, the problem is the same. Now, instead of length, we are talking about which object will have minimum area given this circle as its boundary. And the answer is, of course, in this case, will be the disk, the surface which is lying onto the plane having the circle as its boundary. And these surfaces are known as the minimal surfaces. So this is my area of research. So this is, I think this is very technical, but also now I can give some example which people can, students may have seen, or we all have seen. Like for example, if you take a ring, wired ring, how you can see this thing is in nature. And suppose if you take a circular ring and you dip into some soap solution, and if you lift it, you will see that a film is forming.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
What is that film? That film is a minimum is a surface having minimum area, because you can see that depending on the size, the way the ring which you are taking, the surface will form. So if your ring is a circular ring, if you will dip into solution, you will get a disc. And so you see the nature is working here. The nature always wants to minimize its area given a length. So these are the kind of objects which I have studied during my PhD.
Okay.
And this is related to physics also. This appears in physics also.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't know.
No, it's quite interesting. It was quite interesting.
I told you because this is what I feel.
No, it was great to hear this from you. And one thing we would love to hear, that who was your supervisor during those days in a PhD?
Oh, my supervisor was Professor Rukmini Day. And she also, her area of research is mathematical physics, and now she works in differential geometry also. But now she's at ICTS Bangalore. That is ICTS TFR, if you have heard of.
Yes.
So she's a faculty over there now. So.
Okay. So, sir, I have few more questions. So we'll complete it very early. So the next is, as you did your PhD from Harishchandra Research Institute, so how HRI helped you to establish your journey?
Yeah, so that was a very important step in my phase in my life, as you can see, because before joining HRI, I was just like any other student who had just completed his master's. And of course, as I was interested in doing PhD, so I also I have written some exams. We qualified those exams, and based on that, I had to give an interview there, and then I got set. Yeah, so HRI, I was saying, because that center is totally focused for research in theoretical sciences, mainly theoretical physics and mathematics. And what happens, like that place, every day, you can say, or every week, you will have people visiting from all over the India, from different departments, and they give talks there on different topics. So you will get to hear so many talks and their experience. And this happened for me for 5-6 years, because I was there for 6 years. And that is, you see, when you were at such a place and you get to hear so many talks by different people from their field, then automatically you will have good motivation to also in short, what I want to say, like I was very fortunate to have to get a chance to do my PhD at such a place, because you get to learn.
Exactly, it's a great place to learn mathematics. So as you are in professorship in one of those pride institutes of our country, we all know what IIT means for all of us. So how it feels to be there, and how did you start your journey towards IIT?
Yeah, definitely it feels very good, because if I got a chance to be part of this like the department here. And also, the good thing about is, like, when you are in such a place, you will get to face very good students, right? And we are all, every time we learn. So when you are such a place, you get to teach so many students, you will have to take classes. So I will say it's a very different kind of experience. And also you get to know many things. and yeah, you have to always be like, because I said before this, when you get a position, you get to teach to different classes, and then you have to face different audience. So you will have a lot more questions to answers. So that way it is challenging. Also, it is very interesting, and that way you will grow also as a teacher, and it will also, of course, it will help you in your research, because when you're at such a place, you have to answer even basic things like small things, and then you're forced to think about those things, and that way, so it is very yeah.
It's a blessed. In fact, it's a blessed place to be
Yes,
there.
yes.
So, what, according to you, is the best thing about being a professor? And any experience that would you like to share?
Okay. So first thing, I will quote, not, this is not my view, but I will quote a thought of another great mathematician you may have heard of. Have you heard of this mathematician, Paul Holmos?
Exactly. Yes, yes.
So he has written an automathography, means it's like his biography. So he describes about his journey. I think it's a very good book, and the title of the book is "I Want to Be a Mathematician."
Mm.
So he has divided into that book into several phases of his life, like when he was a student, college student, then he became a professor, and so at one place he said, like, being a professor is this job, like if you're getting a job of professor, or why professor, even teaching, if you have such a job of teaching, so in this job, what you are getting paid for what you like doing the most. So this is one thing you can say. So because you like teaching, you like doing research, and for this you are getting money also. So in that sense, it is a very, you're very lucky to have such a job. So this is one thing I think is good, like you can
Even,
pursue your yeah.
even yesterday, I was just surfing through internet, and
Mm.
I just suddenly, what the name you took, I was watching his videos and his textbooks, what he wrote. Actually,
He is,
it's a coincidence for me to get it from you.
Paul Hormuz, yeah, he's a very
And what is the best advice that you ever received from someone?
best advice. I have received many advices. Uh,
If you share at least few, at least one, if you share at
um,
least.
okay. So, uh, so one advice means I have from my professor at uh, HRI. Uh, Actually, and I think it may be relevant when people may reach there, but I think it can be equally applicable at other places also. So what he told me, because that time we were doing our coursework, when you go to a PhD program, when you join a PhD program, for first 2 years you have to do a coursework, reading course. Means there will be several subjects you have to read, and you have to give exams, and you have to uh, get good grades in order to register for doing PhD, the
Mm,
actual work.
okay.
So, and during PhD, you will have 5 years of time to finish your PhD. So, what he told me that, you know, because at that time, when you're doing something, you do your work also, and you enjoy also, you do some other things also. So one day like we were five in our batch in PhD program. So he stopped us, and because he saw we were enjoying, so then he given us this advice. And regarding this, if you are going into this, if you are going to make this professorship as a career, if you're going to get in this direction, then he said these 5 years or the remaining 3 years are the only years where you can learn as many things as you can. So his advice was like, of course, while enjoying, you should also devote your time to the subject which you like most, because now this is the time you can devote all of your time to learn all this, because after this you won't have time to learn the things. So I think that advice is very, it may not be, uh, I don't know how it will be applicable to school students, but I think it may get applied. So now I am feeling this, because see, now I have to teach and have to do research. So if I want to learn something new, so it's very hard for me to find some time so that I can learn new stuff. So that is one advice which but it is very important to any one of us, because
it means like whenever you're into some course, at that point of time, you should learn everything so that in future
uh,
you may not get any time to
no,
go
no,
through
no,
all
no,
those
no,
again.
not every. It's not about actually. It's not about the courses which you're doing. Even the other things which you want to learn, because this is the time you have. Because when you're doing pieces, you have no other work. You just have to read. So his point was, because we were doing PhD for us, that you try to like be efficient. Yeah, you try to learn other things also, because after this you won't have time.
Right.
That is the thing there. When you join some PhD, it's always good to learn as many techniques, as many subjects as you can, because once you pass that stage, you won't have time, because you will have several other responsibilities. After PhD, you will go for a postdoc, and then in postdoc, you have to produce papers, you have to write research articles, and doing research, then you won't have much time to learn new things, because you want to. So that is one advice, I think, because that is the most recent one which I could remember.
Uh, so the last question that I would like to ask is finally a message that you would love to give to all the students to motivate them towards mathematics.
Yeah. So one thing which I personally, I have, of course, I have got this advice from different people during my whole career. So, of course, if you're doing mathematics, you have to practice also. There is one thing, practice. And another thing is, like, we have to be very patient. We have to do very hard work. We have to be very hardworking. There is a saying, there is no substitute for hard work. You have to work very hard. And also at the same time, you have to be very patient to get the results which you want. Sometimes it may happen that it may not come what you wanted, but we should never get discouraged from those things. And after all, the important thing is, don't think about the results. If you like mathematics, you just enjoy doing it. And that, I think that is the result we should be looking for. Like, if you are enjoying, that's it. And other things automatically will come. And of course, we have to do hard work. And yeah, this is one thing I would suggest. Just like the subject and do it.
So we should be patient enough to
Yes, yeah,
wait.
patient. That is very important.
So
Most of the time,
it may
things.
take little more time what you actually thought the thing should come out, but it may take little longer time. But finally, it will come someday if you are good at your.
So I just want to again say just a small story. It's
Sure.
Actually, when I was in my PhD again, so one day I just completed my coursework, and then I was registered for this PhD program at HRI. So I don't know, I was doing something, I was not able to do it. Like, I was trying something to do, but it was every time I was trying to do, but it was not coming what I wanted. So I was very, kind of impatient that, okay, why it is not working out. So that day, my advisor, she came to me, and then actually we went for tea, and then I told her about this, that this is what is happening. So she told me this story about the Michael Faraday. I think school students might know. 9th, 10th, or 11th. There's a Faraday's laws of induction, the physicist.
Yes.
So he was doing some experiment or related to whatever. So she was telling me about this Faraday, that he discovered something. I forgot what he was CC was mentioning about. So that Faraday, he tried that particular thing, that experiment which we wanted to do, to get for almost like 500 times or 600 times. You can imagine the kind of patience he must have, and finally he succeeds. So most of them, you try for 2, 3, 4 times, 5 times, and then you just so that is one thing. Then I really like, okay, so for me, so what I just tried for 10, 15 times. It's so if we wait for long, the things will come, but just we have to not lose patience. So it is very important. So that is one example. You can see the example of the great physicist.
So
And this is
sometimes it happens like a research is done and its application comes after a long time, like
yeah, that is
100 years,
true.
200 years after.
Yes,
What is the
you can
application?
find many. Yeah, that is completely true.
Because
Many
we have
places you will find. Yeah.
we have a lot
Yes.
of applications comes after a long time when the research is done before, means it's done long time before, but the application comes after maybe 100 years, 200 years, because the Ramanujan's lot of work, what is done, that is later on it came to know in 100 years after by Canon and a lot of other mathematicians.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
the
that's very true. Yeah, that's we never know like which work is going to be what impact. So we should appreciate as long as it is mathematically correct, whatever we should appreciate. This is some sort of work, either in mathematics or physics, any branch. Yeah, this is
So abstract thing may not understood in that point of time, but it has definitely it has some application later.
yes, yes, sure. It is.
So it was great listening to you, Professor Rahul Singh. So I am deeply grateful to you for accepting my invitation to come to my channel, and it was really very great to listen you and your learning experience, what you have shared. And one important thing that I would highlight to all the viewers, that Professor Rahul is just a simple person. He's not like other people. He's very simple, very generous, and he loves students. He loves to stay with students. And when I was there in KSOM for that summer camp, he was sitting nearby me. He had lot of means we I had lot of good times with him, and being in such a position, still these people are so generous. I met Kalyan sir, I met Professor Rahul, and lot of other people. But these mathematicians, I really want to say that these are very good at their nature. Even in their career, they are very means they have reached very great positions. But still, in nature-wise, if I want to share that these people are really great to have in my life. So I'm blessed that I met you someday, and hope I'll meet you some other day out in my life.
Sure.
Uh,
No, you have said many things about me. Yeah, actually, I really like while going to different places and meeting you with different people like me, because I have also gone through all such stages. I was also at some point of time I was going to school, and it's really like if you get a chance to talk to people and listen to their experience, that is very wonderful. Yeah.
and
But anyway,
I
I should say I must thank you that you, as I said, it's not that I have done this before. This is a completely new experience for me, and let's see. But I should thank you that you have given
no
me
no
this chance so
it's
that I can.
it's a great chance for all of us, me and my viewers, that you are here with us, and it's very productive event that you have shared with us all the journey from your school days to college days, then university, and then from your place, what you're now, where you're now, the IIT Patna. And thank you so much, Professor Rahul.
Thank you,
I
Gopal, for.
and I request you that whenever you come to Kolkata, please give a message that we can meet. we can have a time.
Sure, and also for you, the same thing. If you were coming to this Patna or nearby, you just let me know. I will arrange the things for you. Okay.
Thank you so much,
And,
sir. So
uh,
have a good day. Take care of
thank you,
yourself.
Gopal. Thank you, Gopal.
See you
See
someday in
you.
my channel again because
Yes.
this time,
But by the way, yeah.
yes,
How is
yes.
your kid?
He's good. He's good. He's fine. Now he's around 1 year, 4 months, and he started
Okay,
walking
okay.
now. He
Oh,
started
good.
walking.
So, yeah. And how's your wife and
He's
other
also good.
family members?
All are
Okay.
good, sir. Everyone is good.
Okay.
So thank you
Okay,
so much.
Gopal.
Thank you so much for being with
Okay.
us. And we had a great experience listening to your journey. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. See you
Oh,
someday else.
say.
So this
Okay.
time, sir, please, I would love to hear one lecture from you for the school students. Small
Yes.
lecture.
Yeah, I can do that. Is it you want me to do immediately or sometime if you can give me
Yes,
uh,
sometime we can do it sometime because you're
yeah,
quite
definitely. I
busy.
would love to.
Yeah,
I would love to give a talk. I can.
yeah, sure, sir,
So
sure.
I have to also think of some topics so that it can interest.
Yes.
I think that thing will be a bit easy for me. Like
No, no.
because
See,
I
sir,
don't think that.
your journey will inspire a lot of good students to take up this mathematics as their profession because nowadays students are a lot afraid of this subject and they think like maths is not their career.
No,
So that is what I want to highlight as you are one of those person. Looking at you, people can learn that how someone can get into IIT even if it's not written IIT JEE.
yes, yeah, that is true. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes also feel yeah, I have never. But anyway, it's fine. The only thing, like you also pointed out, because many of students they want to get quickly get a job and whatever the reason. But if my point is, if they really have interest in something like maths or any other science, then they must give their time and be patient. So by the as time will pass, it will come. They will get whatever things they want.
So I'll not take much time. Maybe you're
Yeah.
quite busy. Thank you for being with us, and see you some day
Uh,
in interesting talk from you. Thank you, Professor.
yes. Thank you, Gopal, for giving me this opportunity to
So
interact with you and share my experience.
it's a great pleasure hearing you, sir. Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
again.
Thank you.